light. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now, whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just gotten all of our friends here initiated into the Brotherhood. Initiated being a very loose way of putting it. They are going to be going through training. Proper training. Not what Deku, Tokoyami, Momo, and, well, Toga did. They will be going through the actual Assassin's Creed. And looking through it. Now, with that being said, let us pick up with Momo. A couple, or let's see, 3 to 4 days after everything. The events of last time. She is still able to move freely. And in fact, she is trying to think about all this. Her supposed great-grandfather, she believes, was Desmond Miles. So exactly what happened? Now, she is thinking about that, but she also does have another problem she needs to deal with first. You have, well, All Might. Word is that he's been released from the hospital, and that UA wants to hold a sports festival. Wanting to be the term. After the death of most of Class 1A, and the disappearance of the rest of them, they haven't been in very good spirits. In fact, people are doubting them. And things are going downhill very, very fast. Along with it being told that Aizawa, one of the teachers, he was there. Things were hell, and no one understands it. He lost his eye during the fight, and most of the students were killed and injured, along with 13 being ripped apart by her own quirk. He's putting that lightly, however, saying that he saw the whole thing happen. They didn't just stop at a simple little attack, they wanted a clear bloodbath. So, the perpetrator behind this was not our fault. In fact, if you don't blame anyone, blame it on the villains. They're trying to take control of whatever they believe they can with their power. We don't control how people use it. That's society's fault. So, Aizawa saying that would at least get in a bit of trouble, or at least have bad press thrown his way. Him not really caring. Now, with that being said, Momo does actually walk into UA, finding it to be a bit odd. In another life, she would have gone here. In fact, she would have probably... She doesn't even want to think about it. The USJ attack. A lot of people died, but she was spared from it. Or at least saved. But how did all these people get out? That is a good question. Now, with that being said, she would walk in and actually sit down to talk with one of the teachers. She would talk with Principal Nezu, actually, and begin to ask questions, asking about All Might. Principal Nezu being a bit confused, saying that she is Momo Yaoyorozu, correct? Yes, I am. Ah, well, that's odd. You were, I believe, supposed to come here. What happened to that, miss? Or may I call you Momo? Sure. What happened was I decided to go to school out of state. Ah, Well, that is sad news, then. UA possibly would have been better with you here. Hmm. Yeah, um, I'm sorry for your guys' attack and loss of the heroes, and potential heroes in the future. Oh, do not worry, miss. We will try and rebuild, but things will be a lot harder. Can you please tell me why you're here? Hmm. Yes, I need to see All Might. It's really, really urgent. Oh, All Might, he's not actually here right now. Now, Momo, she knows that Nezu's lying. Deku, he's surveilling everything, and he's actually looking at Toshinori Yagi, sitting down in the teacher's lounge with bandages across his face, and across one of his arms. Finding it to be a bit weird. He saw Toshinori Yagi last year, and the fact that that guy's All Might, yeah, that's yikes. He doesn't want to think what happened to him. Now, that being said, Momo would just say that she knows that he's lying, and she does have questions about One for All. Nezu actually pausing, not really sure what to say, asking how does she know Toru? Toru? What do you mean? Well, you're asking about All Might's quirk. Clearly, if you know about it, you must have heard it from someone. Not All Might directly, since he would have only told one of his successors. And since you have not gone to UA, I can deduct that you possibly have met her before she died. Sadly. So, I'm guessing that that means you know about something. All Might has not had to return his power, so he cannot repass it down. Does that mean that you... Yes, I was with her when she died. Oh, I'm sorry. But it's at least a good thing that you were there. Did she... Nezu just trailing off. He knows what it's like to experience things like this, so he would just leave it there, saying that All Might is actually in the teacher's lounge then. And would you please explain to me later what happened, or at least give him an explanation? He will inform me upon it. Now, Momo would leave, heading to the teacher's lounge, and actually seeing as All Might is sitting there. He is just sitting down, and he actually looks sad. Or at least not in a high spirit. Looking up to see her as his right eye is covered in a bandage, along with part of his face. He would just stare at her for a second before he looks back down at the table, asking her what is she doing here. UA is closed for right now. Well, I'm sorry to bother you, but I need to ask a question, All Might. Young lady, All Might is not here. No. I said I need to ask you a question. All Might looking up at her. His demeanor's changing. He looked a bit annoyed, now he just looks confused. Standing up and walking over, asking her exactly what is she doing here. Her trying to give the best explanation. She was there with Toru during the accident, and she passed down the cork to her. She didn't know what would happen. I just talked with Mr. Nezu. And you would be Momo introducing herself. Leaving it at that. All Might a bit annoyed. He didn't expect his successor to, die. And she wasn't even there for the attack. So, what exactly happened to my successor? Do you know? Well, it's hard to explain. Please, take your time. But at least tell me whenever you can sort this all out. All Might actually offering Momo tea. Her accepting, as Deku would walk onto the UA campus and look around, actually getting things ready. He takes a breath in as he takes a breath out, and he would slip the apple into his pocket. Along with that, he actually does wear a hoodie, so his arms are covered. As he walks in, he would be stopped by a man. The man has a ponytail and an eye patch, saying that he must be in the wrong place. School is cancelled, young man. Oh, don't worry. I'm not here for school. I'm here for a friend of mine. As Deku walks in. Now, Aizawa would just grab him by the arm, saying that he said school was cancelled. Deku just flipping his hand and grabbing him by his wrist. As Aizawa would immediately react, opening his good eye and actually just jumping away. Getting things ready. He goes to reach for his blade, but he's not in costume. Deku basically just putting his hands up and backing up, saying that he's just here to talk to a friend. She's meeting with a teacher. So, can I walk in now? Alright, who exactly is she meeting with? All Might? Okay, well, that's something. Aizawa just walking Deku through UA, as they would reach the teacher's lounge, and Deku would just take a seat. After seeing Momo, All Might a bit confused on who this guy is. Deku just saying that he was there too. All Might's just a bit confused. Exactly how many people were with her? Now, they would try to explain everything, along with Deku saying one thing that he wants to see if it will get All Might's attention. Nothing is true, everything is written. Saying that that was something his father used to say. All Might just looking at Deku for a minute. He doesn't say a single word, until his face shifts to confusion. What exactly does that mean, young man? Oh, it's just something he used to say. He got it from my granddad. Deku bringing his hand up and sipping some tea, as his left sleeve would actually come up a bit. All Might looking at his arm, and part of his wrist. He can see a clear bandage along with part of his scar. As Deku brings his hand up and slips it back under, before picking up his cup again. Everyone's somewhat just talking, until they do need to leave. Deku and Momo walking out. All Might basically knowing that now he has to train a new successor. His successor, so he's a bit confused by this now. She had enough power to best me, so that means that this young girl will have even more power than, well, Toru would have. She's going to need to be very careful with that quirk. Now, as they're leaving, All Might would just bring this up. The young man had a scar on his arm. It looked oddly... I feel like I've seen that somewhere. Aizawa just looking at All Might, and asking him where was the scar exactly. All Might just pointing it out, on his left arm, saying it was right here. Basically bringing his hand, a fifth of the way up his left arm, saying that he also did have bandages, and at least holes in his arm. So, I'm fairly certain that boy has something to do with All for One. Are you sure? Why would that boy have anything to do with All for One? Well, It's just that All For One likes to experiment, so I wouldn't put it past him. Besides, he doesn't seem right. He seems a bit more serious and rigid. So, not like a regular student. Now, with that being said, they would be leaving. Deku saying that he thought he would have to use the apple for a second. Momo a bit confused. Didn't you hand that over? No, I didn't. I'm still learning from it, actually. Juno has so much more to teach me. And I'm getting closer to it. Closer to what? Well, we're gonna have to leave the country soon. What? But why? Because there's more artifacts. There's actually I believe there's one close by. Somewhere over in India. Or possibly even Hawaii. Are you certain? Yeah, but there's another problem. Deku just turning to her, saying that the next one, or at least the closest one, that he is hiding, is actually underwater. Her a bit confused. Why would he hide that information? Because I'm not sure what it is. I can only feel the pieces. This one feels bad. This one feels very, very bad. So, I don't know if we should just leave it be. But if I know where it is, then, well, I need to get it. So, I don't think I can let the Creed know about it either. What? We just got higher ranks and you're already wanting to go against the Creed? Yes. Besides, what about you? You haven't even tried using All Might's power yet. Momo letting her hands spark, and actually glow. It glowing with a bit of red electricity, saying that she is not sure what to do. Toru said she broke her hand last time she tried this. So, I'm going to break something. I'm a bit scared about it, actually. Why? You'll be fine. Listen, how about we head to the beach? Deku and her somewhat remembering it. As they head there, Deku basically doing one thing on the way. They walk. This is new. Just walking around and enjoying someone else's company. Deku's not really used to it. But hey. This will all blow over soon. And they can go back. Deku actually asking Momo one simple question. Has she thought about what the Elder said? To take a look inside the Animus. Her just somewhat tensing up. Saying she's thought about it, but she's not sure what would happen. You said that place is like a prison and you never want to go back. How do I know they won't just keep me in there? I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Momo looking at Deku. Someone feels her heart skip a beat for a second. It sounds like he's actually worried about her. Her somewhat trying to at least muster up a little bit of confidence. Saying that sounded almost like bravado. No, it wasn't actually. Deku turning to look at her. As the two would finally arrive at the beach. Deku just sitting down on the staircase. This place feels like a million years ago. It used to be so beautiful, didn't it? Yeah, everything was. But can you answer me a question? Sure. What is it? You and Toru. As Deku hears that, immediately looking at her as he would just say, Were you two dating? Or what happened? Deku, looking at her, his expression goes a bit blank. No, we were friends. Actually, it's kind of weird how they met. You wouldn't believe it, but apparently, someone may have set up our meeting. I'm not really sure now. At first, I thought, or well, most of the thoughts going through my head are a bit confusing, but still. Me and her. She basically found me gut shot on a dock and almost bleeding out. She actually did help me though. Her tech was a bit laughable though. Deku is somewhat smirking, as it quickly falls off of his face, saying that she was a fan of his. Things weren't easy for her. Not just that, but apparently she also wanted to be a makeup artist. But UA comes first, as you know. I'm trying to think about that now. If she kept All Might's quirk and, well, became a big hero, what would happen? As Deku leans his head back against the wall, the two just staring at the sunset. Deku just wondering, would she ever gain control over her quirk properly? Would she ever actually see what her face looks like again, without having to put on so much makeup? It's a bit sad, actually. The artist who can't even see themselves. A portrait you'll never get to witness. Properly. As Momo just looks at Deku, asking more and more questions. What happened whenever they were allegedly frozen? Or, you said solutions. You two spent days talking, right? It felt like days. But they were basically nanoseconds. A simple instant. What felt like hours. Someone just stopped talking, as he looks at her again. Her just somewhat getting closer and closer to Deku, as she finally leans her head on him, saying that things will be okay. Yeah, probably. But even then, what about Tokoyami and Toga? I also have been trying to talk to Mummy, but it's been weeks since he last talked to me. He nearly pulled me out of the Animus, and that's it. Aside from that, he only ever picks up and my mom answers the phone. He doesn't want to see me ever again, and he was basically my dad after he died. So, how do I fix this, Momo? You can't. You just... I live with my mistakes, right? Is that what you're gonna say? Momo just looking at Deku. His eyes are full of tears. And he's actually about to start crying and have a breakdown. As Deku just brings his hands out to his head. Momo actually just wrapping her arms around Deku, holding him, telling him that all he's been through, all this hell, this torture, it's over. As she says one simple thing, Deku focuses on. You are no one's prisoner. You are not a prisoner anymore. Do you hear me? Deku just turning and looking up to her, as he wraps his hands around her somewhat smiling, and a bit shocked, as Deku pulls her in for a kiss. She doesn't reject it, however. She actually welcomes it. Wrapping her hands around Deku as the two just continue. And they stay there for some time. Eventually, things would get a bit too late. And the sunset would be over. It's a bit too dark now, don't you think? Yeah. But hey, it will all be fine. Now, with that being said, the two would walk away. Now, let's cut to about 1 week later. Iida is a bit annoyed. In fact, he is mad. His brother was killed. And actually, well, brutalized by Stain. And he's pissed off. While his brother was in the hospital dying, he was here training to get stronger. So, what is going on now? This pisses him off, as he goes on a bit of a run. He knows where some of Deku's safe houses are, so if he needs to, he can just camp out in them. In fact, he does know he has 2 to 3 in Hosu that he doesn't use. Actually asking Deku a favor. As Deku, he is just standing in a lab, analyzing and looking at some of his tech. While Momo, she's at least inspecting the sword. Iida asking Deku for keys to a safe house in Hosu. Deku immediately turning to him and doing one simple thing. Saying no. What do you mean no? You're still in training. Even then, that man will kill you. He killed your brother, Iida. Your brother's a pro. You aren't even a pro yet. But I'm faster than my brother. Are you? What about your reciprocal burst? I know that as soon as you use those, your engines stall and overheat. If you use them instantly, the stain will kill you. And this will not be easy for you. So, Deku just walking over and pulling keys out of his pockets, telling Iida that they're going to go together then. Now, I'll notify the Elder, and I can take you to Stain. However, I will make sure he doesn't kill you. If you get the upper hand, though, what are you going to do? Can you answer me that question? Iida just staying silent, as Momo walks over with him, saying that, Iida, you're going to have to answer that question sooner or later. And what about you two? I know about, well, your little secret. These two just staying silent, and looking at Iida. Iida's just saying that he knows they've been spending more and more time together, and researching this tech. So clearly they've found something. These two just staring at each other. Wait, does he not know that they're a couple? The two just playing it off. Sure, we found something. So what of it? Well, you need to talk to people about it. We're going to notify them when we had solid evidence, Iida. Then people will start actually believing us. As Iida would just understand. And at least ask where the car is, heading towards it. Deku and Momo would just look at each other, and somewhat laugh a bit. As Momo would wrap her hands around Deku, saying that apparently he doesn't know. Yeah, I thought he was a smart one. So, you ready to go catch a hero killer? Yes, I am actually. You ready to gear up? Yep. So, what do you think we should do? 'Cause he's gonna kill that guy. Well, he's gonna run off and die without us. So I suggest we just take him to him. But do we really let him kill Stain? Well, I mean, yeah. If we let him kill Stain, that means that it's gonna be one less incident. Or, well, at least ally for, that villain guy. Besides, I believe, as Deku would just grab his hidden blades off the table, attaching them both to his wrists, saying that he should talk to Mummy after this, or at least try and get into contact. He knows that Stain might know about him, so let's do this. The pair leaving. Iida doesn't have his hidden blade though, so he's not sure what to do. As he would get to the car and see Deku's bag full of weapons, pulling out a knife and actually grabbing a handgun. Not sure what to do with it though. He wants to put it back in the bag, but he might actually need it, so he would just tuck it into his waistband and be ready. Deku and Momo actually getting in the car and taking Iida to Hosu. Hosu's not that far away. In fact, it should only be 8 hours. Even then, they will get there by nightfall. Iida, however, does need to keep his head down. And in the process, they've all been getting a look change. Iida had to dye his hair from a blue to an actual white color, or at least bleach it, along with shave it. Now, with that being said, Iida does look different, so people won't really question it. Along with that, he wears, well, blue contacts, I believe, or at least something red, so as to stand out a little less. Now, with that being said, they would arrive, and Iida is waiting. All of them are walking around. As Deku, he gets ready, bringing his hand up and trying to focus on the apple. As soon as he does so, he begins to look through cameras and everything at a high speed. Now, with that, he does see Stain, or at least a glimpse of him. He just ran past a camera on this street, not too far away. Iida taking off in that direction. As Iida would come across the scene, Stain has just slashed Native across his chest, and has licked his blood. Iida getting ready, walking into the alley and actually undoing the knife, staring directly at Stain, as he goes to launch forwards. Iida, he would be surprised. Stain immediately jumped up in the air and was ready to slash at him. He was barely able to dodge. So, another pest, really? Wait, you're not in hero outfit. So what are you, a vigilante? I thought I was the only vigilantes in this town. No, I'm not a vigilante. You're turning yourself in. What? Don't make me laugh. You just have a knife, I have a sword. Well, as Deku would walk into the alley.
Well, hello, Mr. Hero Killer. I'm surprised. I've seen your work. And I've gotta say, very, very impressive. Although, I would cut back on something.
And who would you be? Along with that, how do you know my actual name? I'm just a vigilante, as people call me. Well, as if you want to know who that guy is, he's the architect. as Iida would just say, Stain actually a bit surprised, and actually smirking. Oh, so you're the vigilante. I've got to say, I'm following your track record. So, I'm guessing this man is here with you. Stain walking directly past Iida, ignoring him for a second, saying that he's actually a little bit of a fan. But, well, All Might's gonna be number one. You're a close second, though. So exactly what do you want here? I thought you only beat the shit out of and, well, killed the bad guys.
Well, I do actually. But you see, my little friend here, he has a problem with you. You hurt his brother, and he wants a bit of revenge. So, I've got to make sure that he can at least get that.
Wait, so the architect is babysitting a hero's brat's brother? You're joking me, right? Now, Iida would do one thing, pulling the handgun out from behind his back, and pointing it directly at Stain. Deku actually a bit surprised, raising an eyebrow and smirking underneath his mask, as Momo does at least walk out from behind Stain. Stain, he's confused. He didn't even sense her, so she's a little too quiet. Getting things ready. Stain goes to reach for his knife, as Deku tells him not to do that. Taking off his mask, Stain looking at him. You're just a kid. Yes, I am. Besides, if you want to know what I am, you better stop doing that. Now, I'm just going to spectate and see what you two do. Hand to hand, do you understand me? Iida, he's a bit confused, as he goes to pull the trigger, his handgun exploding. As soon as that happens, Stain goes to reach for his knife. Deku immediately just throwing out another one, stabbing Stain in his finger, or at least throwing a knife through his hand. Stain looking as Deku just have his hand outwards, and has 3 more knives in his hand, telling him that if he goes for another one, he's aiming for his teeth this time, or at least right between his eyes. Now, do you understand that? Stain annoyed. Momo just standing there, as Deku asked her to do one simple thing. Create a little bit of a weapon for yourself, and make it untraceable. Her actually listening. She creates a handgun, and actually does make it a bit special. As you have Iida and Stain, the two facing off, fist to fist. Clearly, Stain will win in this category. So, Deku's gonna spice things up a bit. As, out of his back pocket, he pulls out 2 of his old friends, some knuckle dusters, tossing them over to Iida. Iida catching them, and actually putting them on. They're a bit tight, but for right now, he could care less. As Iida rushes forwards, Stain doing the same. Stain dodging Iida's left hook and going for a right. Actually watching as Stain begins to beat the shit out of Iida, even with the knuckle dusters. He's clearly more trained. As Deku walks over to Momo, the two watching Iida take a beating. Momo handing over the little weapon, and Deku just shooting it into Stain's back. Stain having a hole in his shoulder, as Iida actually does smash up his jaw with his left hand, and gets back up off the ground, telling Deku that that was a cheap move, and he should have stayed out of the fight. Deku just saying that he's here to make sure he gets revenge, not die. Besides, you want it to be painful, don't you? That's the thought going through your head. Iida just trying to think about this. Deku, he knows him too. But hey, this is for his brother. As the two go on, Iida actually getting an upper hand on Stain because of his injury. As Stain does try and fight around it, but Iida just keeps bashing and bashing his head in. At this point, a long time has gone by. Anytime Stain gets the upper hand, Deku shoots at him, and actually does hurt him quite a bit. As you have Iida holding Stain in a chokehold, trying to think about it. Deku just looking at him, asking him what his decision is. Turn him in or kill him. Iida just thinking about this, as Native finally after some time, actually does move, standing back up, telling him that he should not do this. He should be helping people. Besides, you said your brother was in Genium, right? Why are you missing? Is it because of him? Did he promise you something? Please, I can help you, but I just need to get to a hospital first. If you can take me there, then I promise that man will see justice. Iida just staring at him. He needs to choose. Now, carnage is going on. Deku actually looking up to see smoke and actual fire. Iida, you have to make your choice now. As Stain goads Iida on to do it. Snap his neck. Do it. Do it! As a loud crunch can be heard. Stain's body falling to the ground. Deku walking over to Native. Doing one simple thing. Grabbing him by the hair and kneeing him in the face. Knocking him out. He knows that will be enough, and Native is going to die if he doesn't get medical attention. So he'll at least do him a bit of a favor. He would call 911. And, well, leave the phone there. Even if you don't respond, they will send someone out to check the phone. Or at least trace it back. So, there would be a bit of a headline the next day. Local hero Native kills hero killer. Claims it was this person, the missing UA student. No evidence can be found. Along with blood, the scene seems to have been treated with something. Unknown chemicals stopping police investigation. Now, with that being said, I do believe that would be a good part to leave off on, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. And yes, in this what if, Iida got his revenge for his brother. Along with him, General Zodding Stain. To those of you who get that reference, you understand. Yeah. I've never made that joke before. Anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed.